He was the deadliest gunslinger alive, until he chose to walk away from violence. But one mistake from his past comes back 20 years later to destroy everything he loves. Now, with nothing left to lose, his final journey becomes a brutal showdown that will decide who survives and who pays for the sins of the past.
Or save your daughter and watch me take your place.
Set in 1878 in the rugged Montana Territory, the story follows Colton Briggs, a feared and legendary gunslinger working under government contract, known for his unmatched precision and icy demeanor. He arrives at a small settlement to oversee the public hanging of Robert, a member of a brutal gang infamous for raiding homes, killing families, and leaving no witnesses behind. Robert's execution is meant to send a message, but tension hangs thick in the air as everyone anticipates retaliation from his brother Walter, the gang's ruthless leader. With the sheriff and townsfolk on edge, their worst fears come true when Walter and his gang suddenly descend upon the town, launching a violent ambush that erupts into chaos and instantly claims the sheriff's life. As panic spreads and bullets fly in every direction, stepping into the mayhem with calculated focus. Moving with deadly efficiency, he begins eliminating the attackers one by one, each shot perfectly placed, proving that the legends surrounding his lethal skill are not just stories but terrifying reality. After witnessing his entire gang slaughtered, Robert makes a desperate last attempt to kill Colton. But Colton outdraws him and ends his life, leaving behind Robert's young son, James, who silently watches the massacre and his father's death with a growing fire of vengeance in his eyes. Colton briefly meets the boy's stare, emotionless, before walking away, unaware he has just created a future enemy. The story then jumps 20 years ahead, revealing a transformed Colton who has abandoned his violent past and built a quiet life as a family man after marrying Ruth. Now living in peace with their daughter Brooke, Colton runs a small general store and focuses solely on his family, showing no trace of the deadly gunslinger he once was. He spends a normal day taking Brooke to school.
We should have taken the horse.
No.
Only to find it closed and brings her along to work, while Ruth tends to chores back at home. Suddenly, the grown-up James arrives at Colton's home, pretending to be a lost traveler seeking shelter. But Ruth quickly senses danger and tries to escape, only to be captured. Revealing his identity, James coldly declares that Colton killed his father and brands him a monster, vowing revenge by making Ruth pay, before brutally murdering her. If you are enjoying this recap, don't forget to hit the like button. Soon after, Colton returns home with his daughter Brooke and instantly senses something is wrong, only to find Marshal Jarrett and his men already there, confirming Ruth's death.
I'm sorry, Briggs, but...
Shocked that a feared killer like Colton had built a family, Jarrett watches cautiously as Colton processes the loss in silence. Rather than erupting, Colton remains eerily composed, stating only that he will bury his wife and begins digging her grave beside their home, while Jarrett stays nearby, recognizing both the tragedy and the dangerous storm that may now follow. Marshal Jarrett reflects on how Ruth once kept the dangerous gunslinger in check, doubting anyone can do so now, while also noticing something deeply unsettling about Brooke.
My mama's dead now.
She shows no grief at all over her mother's death. When Colton demands the killer's identity, Jarrett urges him to trust the law and not return to his violent past, promising justice before leaving. But the moment they're gone, Colton reopens a long hidden trunk, retrieves his weapons, and decisively abandons his peaceful life, burning his home to the ground and setting out with Brooke on a mission of revenge. In the morning, he makes it clear their only goal is to hunt down Ruth's killers and rebuild afterward, a plan Brooke accepts with eerie calm.
I finish what I have to do, we'll find a new place and...
Meanwhile, Jarrett rides out with his men to track James, still troubled by Brooke's emotionless behavior.
That seems strange to you, that little girl last night?
Unaware they are heading straight into an ambush as James and his gang lie in wait, ready to strike. James and his gang launch a brutal ambush on Jarrett's posse, using surprise and high ground to gun down nearly everyone before slipping away. Meanwhile, Colton and Brooke track the trail and encounter a wounded deputy,
You're getting off that horse.
whom Colton cautiously disarms and forces to lead him to the massacre site. There, a shaken Jarrett is confronted by a now relentless Colton, who takes control, restrains the survivors, and prepares to extract answers by force, accusing Jarrett of hiding the identity of his wife's killers. Despite Jarrett's desperate pleas to trust the law and not fall back into his violent past, Colton has crossed the line, fully consumed by vengeance and unwilling to listen anymore.
Like you hunted down the man who killed my wife?
Pushing past all restraint, Colton forces the truth out of a terrified deputy,
James McAllister.
learning that James, now the leader of an escaped convict gang, is responsible for his wife's murder and is heading to Colorado to recover hidden loot. In a surprising shift, Colton spares the man and even uses his blade to remove a bullet and treat his wounds, showing a glimpse of the man he tried to become before leaving with Brooke to continue the hunt. Meanwhile, James grows increasingly paranoid, warning his gang about Colton's deadly reputation as they reach another town. Subscribe to the channel before watching ahead. That night, as Colton and Brooke camp in the wilderness, the tension finally surfaces when Brooke quietly asks her father about his feared past,
The marshal said he used to kill people.
questioning the life he once lived and why he chose it. Around the campfire, Colton finally reveals the truth about his past to Brooke, admitting he was born emotionally numb, unable to feel pain, fear, or grief, even at his own mother's death,
I'd been born dead inside.
which led him into a life of killing without remorse. Though he saw terror in others, he never understood it until he met Ruth,
Something I never felt before.
who changed him completely, awakening fear for the first time, the fear of losing her, and giving his life meaning. Looking at Brooke as the only piece of his life left, Colton makes a cold, unwavering vow that the men responsible will pay with their lives, fully embracing the path he once abandoned. As Colton finishes his confession, he breaks down for the first time,
I felt pain.
and Brooke reveals she shares his emotional numbness, though seeing him cry awakens something new within her, deepening their bond. The next day, she begins learning to shoot, quickly proving she has inherited his deadly precision,
Don't pull. Squeeze with your whole hand.
and together they track James to a Colorado town. While Colton plans a careful flank, Brooke proposes infiltrating alone since no one knows her face, but the plan fails when James's men immediately recognize her, having secretly watched the family long before the attack. Captured and brought before James, she is offered a chance to live if she helps lure her father into a trap, but she defiantly refuses, declaring he will be the one to die.
But don't worry, my father will be here soon. He'll fix that.
Outside, sensing something is wrong, Colton stealthily enters the town, silently eliminating guards one by one, moving like a ghost as he begins his deadly approach. The silence finally shatters into a brutal firefight as Colton storms through the town, cutting down nearly the entire gang despite being wounded in the chaos. Desperate, James takes Brooke hostage, forcing a final confrontation where he reveals his identity as Robert's son
I remember you.
and sets up a cruel ultimatum: save himself or save his daughter. Without hesitation, Colton chooses Brooke, killing the henchman,
I love you.
but is immediately shot in the chest by James and collapses with a fatal wound. As Brooke breaks down in tears for the first time, James gloats in victory.
I killed him!
But Brooke, inheriting her father's precision, grabs a gun and executes James with a single shot, ending the cycle of revenge. In his final moments, Colton gives her a pocket watch containing her mother's photo, urging her to live wisely before dying. Shortly after, Marshal Jarrett arrives, acknowledging that despite his past, Colton died a good man, and instead of confiscating the gang's stolen money, he gives it to Brooke to rebuild her life, offering support as Colton's body is taken back for a proper burial. Thanks for watching, and be sure to share this with your friends.
You're gonna be a hero.